Hello, friends. Well, I've just been pushing every button wrong this morning. Happy Saturday. We made it to another weekend. Welcome to my live. And if you happen to be watching later, welcome to the replay. My name is Robin, and I'm with Robin's Egg Blue Creations, and I'm also an independent designer with Couture. You're in the right place if you feel like you don't have any time to craft, or if you want to make inexpensive yet quality craft decor for your home, or if you are intimidated by blank surfaces. I have some products that might be able to help you, and I hope that you craft along with me this morning. Say hi in the comments when you hop on. Tell me where you are watching from this morning. I'm in central Kansas this morning. It's kind of a dreary, cold morning for late May, but we will take it after our 90-degree weather this week. Sorry, I'm so used to having my intro, so I kind of don't know what to do not having the intro, but so bear with me as I kind of figure out a new show flow. But I'm using an online platform this morning called StreamYard, so it allows me to go live in 3 locations this morning. I'm live on my business page, I'm live on my YouTube channel, and I'm also live in my private Facebook group. And I tell you that just in case you hear me refer to a comment that you don't see in your feed. You're not lost, you're not confused. That person is just watching and commenting from a different platform. Also, if you're watching from my private Facebook group, if you wouldn't mind giving StreamYard access to your profile name and pic by clicking the link in the comment or in the description of this video. That way you show up in my comments as your profile name and not Facebook user. That way I know who to say hi to. So I'm going to look at my comments and see who's here. I see that Jason is watching from the family room. Welcome. Again, as you hop on this morning, say hi in the comments. Also, if you wouldn't mind spreading some of the chalk love around Facebook, share this video on YouTube, like the video, heart the video, tag your crafty friends if you share it to your profile pic or profile. Do all that kind of fun stuff. That just helps me build my channel. So I'm going to flip the camera around this morning so you can see my overhead view. So we are going to be using the transfer called Shut the Front Door. This is a silk screen reusable, if I can get it separated, adhesive back transfer. So the back side is sticky, so it sticks to your surface great. These are reusable about 8 to 12 times depending on how well you take care of them. So I'm just going to write the name, Shut the Front Door. I can't talk and write at the same time. Just writing the name on the back so that when I'm done with this transfer and I'm cleaning it, I know that this transfer goes on this backer sheet and that this is the back side. You'll also notice that this transfer also has these suggested cut lines. You can cut your backer sheet completely apart if you want to. You can cut it into different pieces. I'm just going to score the transfer. So I'm just lifting it up. And I may have already done all this already. I did. But let's do this side. So to score it instead of cut it, I just lift up a portion of, if I can, the silk screen. And then I just place my scissors underneath there. And I just score those lines. Let me know how my audio is. I'm trying a new lavalier mic. So let me know what you think of the audio as I cough into it. Okay, so we're done with our transfer for right now. I am going to put it on this 14-inch round. I have pre-stained it with this Waverly Antique Wax. At least I think that's what I used. I did it a long time ago and just pulled this out of my stash. I'm going to pull it off the box. This is what it looks like. And I'm actually you're thinking, well, Robin, this is a long transfer. How's it going to fit on that round? I'm actually, believe it or not, I'm going to cut up my transfer because I just think it'll be easier to use. So I'm going to cut it between the and front, and then I'm going to cut these into 2 different lines, and then I'm going to cut this one into 2 different lines as well. So it'll say shut the front door, and then down here it'll say no, really, shut the door, you're letting bugs in. And I just want to point out that this also comes with, it's too peoply outside, come on in, I'm still not ready, and please hide packages from husband. So actually, you could make this interchangeable where you could just put shut the front door, and then somehow you could make like you could use our 6-inch round shapes or even the square and paste these onto the different squares, and you could interchange them as you saw fit. But that's not what we're going to do this morning. I prefer door rounds, so I'm just going to cut my transfer up to make it door round friendly. So I'm going to paint the top portion of this door round, kind of do a color blocking technique. I'm just going to use this Waverly chalk paint and plaster. And I have watered it down a bit just because when you get to the bottom of the barrel of these, they get kind of thick. And I'm just going to pour some of it into this color tray because for me, I do not like dipping my brush into here because then it just gets messy. So you can see even though I added a ton of water last night, it's still super thick. Jason says he's laughing at it's too peoply outside. And then he also says that's a good idea about the interchangeable thing. It is. Not my idea. I've seen it done. My upline, Christy at Chalk Creek Boutique, has made a bunch of interchangeable door rounds, and they are super cute. So after my video, you should go check out her page at Chalk Creek Boutique. She does a lot of interchangeable door rounds. So I just added a little bit more water to make it thinner because it's super thick. And then I have a couple of paintbrushes. I have the paintbrush from the artist tool set, and then I have a larger paintbrush. I think I'm just going to use the larger paintbrush to make it go a little faster. And you can make this as perfect or as rustic as you would like. I think I'm going to add a little bit more water. I should have pre-painted this just because my lives tend to get long, but there just isn't enough time in the day sometimes to get things prepared. I'm going to try to be super careful around my edges, but if I do have to go back in, I can paint them. I could also even just sand them off if I get paint on the edges or on the sides, I should say. Okay, so let's do this other side. So how's everyone's week been? You have any big plans for this weekend? Okay. Try to get everything covered. And then we'll dry this coat. I will probably have to go back in with another coat. So let's dry this coat real quick. Actually, my cord will let me. I'm just going to get my big hair dryer out. So I can dry it faster. Ain't nobody got time for that little thing today. Jason says his weekend plans are resting after 2 back-to-back busy weekends. Yep. Okay. Well, that got it dry super fast. Got a rough patch right here, so I'm just gonna sand that down. Try to knock off some of that roughness. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit more water. Yeah, that looks better with that second coat. So I try to use longer strokes and a larger paintbrush. That way I don't have so many brush strokes. Hi, Ashley. This is your first official summer week break weekend, huh? Do you have any big plans this weekend? And I'm about out of paint. I'm just throwing on some paint to this 14-inch door round. Okay, I just need a skosh more. I'm just going to dip into my jar. And I'm going to water it down because it looks like pudding. better. You're glamping. Love it. I got a wild hair the other day and started looking at pop-up campers. I'm not for sure why, because if I'm going to camp, I'm going to glamp, and that means fully enclosed, fully air-conditioned, with a bathroom. But there are some, I did realize and learn there are some pop-up campers that come with little bathrooms and air conditioning. Okay, let's dry this and see what works, or see what, if it needs any more coats. Sorry, it's going to be loud. Okay. I had to bring the big gun out today, the big dog, so I could get this dry. I think that looks pretty good. It didn't go over my edges, which is good. Okay, let me get that lid back on. So let's move my mess. And let's get this cardboard out of the way. So it's a little chilly for your first weekend of glamping. Okay, so let's have a little rough patch there, but let's move the tape, remove the tape. Let's see what we have. Pretty clean line. Okay, so let's bring our transfer back in and let's do a little bit of surgery. So remember I said I was gonna paint or gonna cut this. So I have already cut the pieces apart, but I'm actually gonna like really cut this transfer apart because it's made for a longer, it's a 12 by 18. So this is like about 16 inches wide, but I have a 14-inch door hanger and I don't want to mess with all the excess pieces. So I'm literally going to cut this apart. And then I'm going to cut it apart even more. I don't normally do this, but I'm going to for this one. Okay, so I've got shut the, and I'm going to keep that handy because I'll need front door. I'm just mainly determining placement, but before I do that, I do want to wax this. So I'm just going to use the surface wax, which I believe, oh, sorry, Bonita, I missed seeing you on here. Good morning. Ashley asks how we're doing. We're doing good. Finally home. We've been gone for 2 weeks, 2 weekends in a row. So I was glad to stay home. And then Ashley says you have a heater and firewood. Well, that's good. It's kind of chilly out there today. So because I've painted this, and it is still a little rough. When you paint, it kind of raises the grain of the wood. I'm going to use the surface wax. It is out of stock, but you can also use just like a Minuet, any kind of finishing paste. This is in a dark wax, but they do also have clear. So I'm just going to use the little wax applicator. This will also kind of help seal your paint as well. So what this does is it gets in all those little nooks and crannies where the grain has been raised and kind of makes this for a smoother surface to paste on. It also kind of acts as a barrier between my wood and my transfer so that my transfer doesn't stick so hard that it pulls or stretches the fabric when I pull up my transfer. So I'm just buffing it with the microfiber side. It has a terry cloth side and a microfiber side. So you kind of want it to be kind of shiny and smooth. Okay, that's pretty good. If you don't have wax, you could even just use a clear acrylic spray, and that would help seal your wood so that your transfer doesn't stick as well. Okay, because this transfer is brand new, and especially because I'm putting it on a painted surface, I do want to fuzz it. So I'm going to put it on my terry cloth fuzz towel, and I'm just going to apply it and pull it off a few times. And so just need to figure out placement. So I'm going to pull off the front door piece as well. I'm going to fuzz it. Probably should have put it down first. And it would have helped if I would have cut it straight. But I can kind of see through the transfer portion, or the teal portion of this transfer, so I can see my line, which is helpful. And I have to go by the words and not the transfer because I have more teal over on this side than I do this side. Okay, so I don't normally measure, but so roughly 2.5. I got to go over a lot more. Actually, you know what would be easier? Is I'm going to fold it over and I'm going to match the edge of the F up to the edge of the R. And I'm going to pinch it in this corner where my left hand is. And that'll give me a little notch in the design. And then I can kind of at least eyeball it. Okay, so there's the same thing. I'm going to match the S up with the crossbar of the T. I'm going to pinch with this hand. And I've got stuff all over the back of this. And I'm leaving space at the top for bow and greenery. then I'm also, just for fun, I'm going to put a little piece of tape down here to the left of my center mark. That way, when both of my transfer pieces are off and I'm trying to find the middle, I'll know where that's at. Okay. So I think that's pretty close to where I want it. So I'm going to burnish it down. The joys of using all my fabric strips, I have fabric pieces everywhere, little strings. And because I've cut this off and now I have an edge that's really close to my design, I'm going to put a little bit of placement tape there. And I'm going to get, I thought I had some backer pieces here. It's not long enough. I'm going to try to, oh, here's some. So I keep some of my scrap backer pieces from when I used to cut my transfers. And because I don't want to waste my placement tape, I'm just going to do this. Just use small pieces. So that'll work. Okay. So I'm going to use black on the top. And I'm going to outline or kind of rub around my letters again to make sure that they are burnished and adhered well. So I'm just going to use a squeegee. I'm going to get in here to this black paste. This is black velvet. I'm going to just have some on my squeegee. That's probably way too much, but I can always take it off. And I'm going to turn my design around so that I'm going away from the bottom. That way I don't accidentally get paste underneath this backer piece. Oops, I heard an air bubble, darn it. If you have an air bubble, you'll hear a pop every now and then. So I'm going to go lightly over it, get my excess off, clean off my squeegee lines, and I can put all of that excess back in the jar. So I'm going to turn it back around. Let's take this off. Let's take that off. And then I'm going to peel back my transfer slowly. So there's Shutta. I'll just lay that on the lid of my water tub. And then we'll give it a dry. Don't forget to share, spread the chat love if you can. Hit that heart button, hit that like button. That looks good. So now I've got this. Now that I'm glad I put my little piece of tape down there. Because now I know where my middle goes. I'm going to get another piece of backer sheet. I'm going to put a piece of backer sheet over my Shutta part. That way this part of the transfer doesn't sit on there and possibly stick and peel it off. So now I'm going to burnish these letters down. Okay, so let's stick that back down. I've got some extra tape over here. And again, I'm putting some on the side. Okay, so I'm going to turn it around, and I'm going to squeegee from the backer sheet down. I'm going to get. I have taken horrible care of my paste jar. I have a ton of it dried on the side, so I can't get that big squeegee in all the way. I'm going to have to fix this jar. Don't do what I do. Clean the sides of your jars, because that's all just wasted dry paste now. Darn it. So I'm just going to take my squeegee and I'm going to drag it down that silk screen material. These transfers are great if you've ever tried to make a door round and you have to design either a decal or a vinyl stencil. Then you have to weed it. Then you have to place it. Or if you have bleeds, or even if you have these, you don't have great hand lettering skills, these transfers are great for knocking out quick, easy door hangers without a lot of fuss. If you cut a vinyl stencil or decal, it's a one-time use only kind of thing. With these, you can use them 8 to 12 times, depending on how well you take care of them. Definitely a better use of my dollars and time. There you go. There's shut the front door. That no weeding, no bleeds, almost a perfect impression. And it's only been 30 minutes from start to finish. And a lot of that was just goofing around. Okay, I'm going to put the lid on of that. Okay, so now we're going to bring in the rest of our transfer. I'm going to put that to the side just in case it's not dry. And so I'm still going to be doing some more surgery. I think I'm going to cut some of this excess off. And I'm actually just going to totally, I don't know, I might keep it. I might be able to use it for masking stuff off. Okay, so I'm actually going to cut this piece in half as well. So let's fuzz both of these pieces. Go ahead and grab this one. And I'm going to trim, I'm just going to trim a little bit of this excess. Just so I have an equal amount of space on each side to work with. And I can totally get that out of my way. Okay, so because these are new and I'm on wood, I'm going to fuzz them. Do as I say, not as I do. If it's your transfer, you can do whatever's going to make it easier for you to create. And in this case, this is what's easiest. even going to try, you know what, I should have cut it with a straight edge. I'll have to, when I'm done and it's clean and dry again, I will probably go back in and clean that edge up. Probably it's a good idea to cut it with an X-Acto knife and ruler. That way you get a straight edge. So I marked my middle. And I'm trying to eyeball it even though the edges of my transfer are not even. So again, find the middle. I have a period and a Y right there. So I think then I'm going to move that one down. Let's do a little bit of measuring just for fun. So roughly, I think needs to go slightly over. And again, I'm going to put, I can't find my middle. I didn't pinch it hard enough, I guess. Because that was helpful last time. Okay. So let's take this one off and we'll just lay it sticky side up over here. And now I think that color will work. We don't really have an exact color, but this is a little creamier, more yellow than I'd like, but if I try to color mix, it'll turn out to be poop brown no matter what color I try to mix. So I'm just going to grab a little bit, and I think this color is almond, and I don't know if it's still available. I did put a cart link up in the description of the video, so you can hit that cart link and it'll throw everything that is in stock that I have used into your cart, and then you can add or delete as needed. So if you already have black paste, you can take it out of your cart. Probably should have put, and I probably should have waxed. I forgot. I have a little multi-tool over here. I'm going to use it just to get to this comma right here. And I'm going to use it to pull off my excess. Actually, that looks really good. It's a little more yellow than I'd prefer, but it'll work. And remember, it's going on a door, so ain't nobody going to see it up close, except for the people that... Jason says he likes it. Okay, so let's find our center again because I bet it popped out. I'm going to pinch think I need to move it over a little bit more. I think we're just going to go with that. So I'm going to really burnish that down. I'm going to put this over here to kind of help protect that edge. I'm going to put this over there. Okay, I'm just going to use my multi-tool for this. Okay, raise your hand in the comments if you have a crafty stash that you really need to try to get through. Are there projects that you have stored away that you've never started or you have finished and need to get done? Raise your hand in the comments. And I'll tell you why I ask here in a little bit. Okay. Oh. Let's put the lid on that. Okay, let's dry it, and then I'm going to wash my transfers before we embellish. Ashley has a hand raised. Bonita has all 3 hands raised. I've got both hands and both feet raised. Okay. Let's wash our transfers, and then I will circle back to why I asked you that. Okay, so these have not been sitting in water the whole time. I just plopped them in when I pulled off that last piece. But the transfers are super easy to clean. You just need a water source. I like to keep a little tub beside me. That way when I'm done using them, I can wash them immediately. It's just easier for me to clean them as soon as I'm done instead of letting them sit there and dry. So I'm just kind of scrubbing them on the bottom of this tub just to get some of that black paste that I used in the beginning kind of reconstituted. And then I'm going to take my board eraser, which I just looked yesterday. I don't remember if they're, oops, my microphone just fell off. Sorry. Hope that didn't make a loud thud. I forgot to, I don't remember if they were in stock or not. Okay, so I'm just taking the board eraser and I'm just wiping it up and down the front of the transfer to try to get all of that paste off. And I'm going to get the back, see if I can get some of that dislodged. Sorry, you probably can't see a whole lot with my black water, but I've got that one. Pull that one out. Oh, fart. Just dumped water on my board. Poop. Put a towel. I just need to be more careful. Okay. Luckily it didn't get on any of the paste, just on the paint. Okay, so just get these two. And then we'll put the water away. get that out of the way. So then, and don't be alarmed if the transfer stain like this. The black is notorious for staining. As long as your silk screen is clean, you're good. So I'm also going to clean the backs. Hey, Donna. Donna's raising her hand. She obviously has half finished or never started projects in her stash. Okay, so I'm asking you that because I would like to start maybe a monthly craft your stash night where it could be like a late night Friday or a Sunday afternoon. I already have a private group started, and then anybody who wanted to join in on that monthly craft your stash night would just need the link to that group, and then we can just kind of hang out. And when you're in a group, you can do private rooms. So we could set up a room within that private group, and then we can like video chat and kind of hang out. We could do pajama parties. There could be theme nights, stuff like that, where we just get together and just get stuff done, literally. Who'd be up for that? It'd be like a virtual, I don't know, craft night. See, I didn't get that one very clean. So my disinfecting wipe, I can come back in and get it clean. So when you're done with these, done cleaning them, I don't even know if I got that very clean. You can leave them shiny, sticky side up to dry for a little bit. But if you've been around a few times, you know that I leave them out on accident. So I just stick them back on the backer sheet to dry. That way, and I just put them on damp, a little damp. It's actually, I think it's easier to place them on the backer sheet when they're a little damp. They're a little bit easier to wrestle. Donna says that sounds fun. Benita says that sounds wonderful and would definitely be up for that. Sweet. So, which day of the week do you think it would be good, or should we mix it up from month to month? Okay, I'm just going to let that hang out on the floor. I don't have any other room. So now that we're all cleaned up, let's bring our round back in. And then I have a bunch of greenery, and I don't know which ones to use. Okay, ladies, so on that, or whoever wants to join, I do have, I don't know if you can find it on Facebook, but it's the Robin's Egg Blue Creations Craft Your Stash group. Craft Your Stash. I may have to invite you, I don't know, because I tried to make it super private, so it wasn't easy to find. Okay, so I have some greenery. And I don't know which one I want to use. And I won't. That just doesn't. Almost need. So I have this kind, and it doesn't want to lay very whippy. It tries to want to turn to that. So I have this one. So we could use that one. Or I have some eucalyptus. Just kind of, I have that. Or I have this kind of boxwood looking stuff. So we could use that. And it kind of has that milky white look to it. So which one do you think, which one is your eye more drawn to? And I'll also have a bow. So I've got that A, B, or C. And we're closing in on another hour. And I'm not going to attach the greenery in the bow right now. So maybe I'll just make the bow because I am going to seal this one. So I'm not even going to attach anything right now. So I will seal it with a clear acrylic spray. I just want to show it to you from close. Anita says A, which would be this one. Ashley says A. Jason says C. So far, no one's voting for eucalyptus, so we'll throw that one out. So there's A, and there's C. Yeah. I'll just kind of have to play with them. And then I picked out, where's my third one? Oh, right here. So I have this waffle weave ribbon. I have the polka dot ribbon. Donna says she overruled Jason. So it looks like we're going with A. And then I have some of these. So let's real quick, let's take my mic off because I am going to forget that one of these days. I need to find, well, one, I need to quit moving stuff around because now I don't know what I did with my bow maker. Oh, I see it. Ladies, I don't think I'm ever, and Jason, I don't think I'm ever going to get this craft room clean and organized like I like. Okay. So let's put this off to the side. I'm going to make the bow, and then I think we've decided on A. So after I spray this weekend, then I'll put everything together. But let's make a bow real quick and see how that's going to work. Those away. I try to keep my transfer trimmers just for my transfers. I just want to see how big I want to make that. So I'm just cutting this wire, so we'll start with that. Forgot my microphone. Do you guys hear a difference with the little microphone? Does it rustle along with on my clothes? Okay, so I'm just going to pinch this piece and stick it in my third hand here. Okay, again, I'm pinching it, and I'm just going to stick it in. And I kind of want to make I want my tails to go in the opposite directions. So kind of making an X. You don't hear a difference? I'm just kind of guesstimating on the length. I do want this longer, and then each time I add a ribbon, I want it to be a little shorter than the one beneath it. And so I'm just going to pinch this one in the middle. I'm just going for super neutral. Jason says he hasn't noticed too much of a difference. Well, I mean, my audio wasn't bad before. I just was hoping to cut out a lot of the static noise. So I'm going to pinch that one. And I'm going to pinch that one. And then I don't know whether to try to add some lace. Sure, why not? I can always take it off if I don't like it. I'm going to make this one a little bit shorter. And I might make, I'm going to put 2 pieces per side just because it's a lot, I think. We'll see. Just because it's a narrow ribbon. And I'm just going to take that off and I will add it to my scrap bin. No point in keeping it on there. Okay, so there's these 2 for that. Okay, so let's get some twine. Let's see if I can. In fact, I might get a twist. I'm going to get a twisty tie. Maybe. We'll use that. I'm going to squish all that down. Get my twisty tie here. Flip it over. Oops. Oops, I didn't put the twisty tie on right. That would be helpful. Okay. Turn all that around. Do it again. I guess as long as there's no feedback, that's more of what I was worried about. Okay, so before I pull it completely tight, I can take the opportunity to kind of separate, and then we'll trim. I kind of want to pull all those pieces apart. It's where I have some going up and some going down. And then we'll really pull it tight. Okay. So now, let's see. I haven't made a bow in forever. Kind of out of practice. Okay, so now let's trim our pieces. I'm going to trim these up a little bit. They're a little long. At least on that one side, they were a little long. Okay, so then I'm going to angle cut. I'm not a huge, personally, I'm not a huge fan of the dovetailing. It looks good when other people do it. When I do it, yeah, not so much. And then I'm going to cut these a lot shorter. Figure out which ones go where. And since they're shorter, they'll stick up a little bit more. And then I always like to kind of stick my finger in the middle of each ribbon, and it kind of gives it that faux loop effect or look. Okay, which way are y'all going here? And also be checking my Facebook page soon because I'm getting ready to schedule some June classes. Okay, so let's bunch those back up, poof those this side up. And there is our bow. So that's the bow we'll add. And then I'll add some greenery. Ashley says she loves that bow. It needs a little bit of tweaking, I think, but the key for me anyway is to cut the top. Each layer gets a little shorter and shorter. That way it gives a little bit more fullness to your bow. So there is the bow. And then these end up, you want to do those a lot shorter. That way they kind of poof. So there you go. So there is our finished, well, somewhat finished door hanger. Want to remind you that, let me find my mouse. Let's go back to my ugly mug. And I'll hold this up for you so you can see it. So this is what we made. Shut the front door. No, really, shut the door. You're letting bugs in. So I will seal this with a clear acrylic spray. We're also going to add in some of this greenery. Not quite like that, but we will add that in. And then I'll add some wax to the back, this Waverly wax, and I will seal it as well. I'm in the paint your back, finish your back camp, so I like to finish the back sides. I just want to remind you that we have transfer palooza. So if you buy 2 transfers, you get the third one free of equal or lesser value. And you can stack that. So if you buy 2, you get 1 free. If you buy 4, you get 4 transfers, you get 2 free. If you buy 6 transfers, you get 3 free. A great way, kind of a great little hack if you want to get some D and E size transfers for free is to put in separate orders. So purchase a 2D transfers and get a D free, purchase 2 E transfers, get an E free, or last week I purchased 2 E's and got a D for free. You'll pay a little bit more in shipping, but your free transfer deal will come out better in the long run. So just a little hack there for you. Ice cold lemonade stand transfer is this month's Club Couture transfer. You get this exclusive B-size transfer and 3 paste singles. This month is Bumblebee, Meadow, and Storm. This DIY kit comes to your mailbox every month. There is a 3-month minimum commitment to join, but you can cancel at any time after that. You also, as a club member, get $4.95 flat rate shipping. Also, as a club member this month, you can partake in Paste Palooza. So there are 2 paste trio sets in the specials tab at my chalk site, which is chalkcouture.com/Robin's Egg Blue Creations. So you could get the Daisy Chain Trio or the Call Me Maybe Trio for 50% off of retail value. I don't remember. I think it's like $15 or $17, but don't quote me on that. It doesn't show up for me, so I don't know what it is. Also, as a promotion this month, it is What's Not to Love. So if you add $50 to your cart, and then also add a $5 Watts of Love donation, you will receive a size A retired mystery transfer. If you are a club member and also put in $50 to your cart and add a $5 Watts of Love transfer, you will receive 2 mystery size A retired transfers with your orders. And if you go back to my video from Wednesday, I showed a little video about Watts of Love, so you can learn more about it, but it just basically provides solar lighting for people in the world that don't have access to electricity. It frees them up to be able to work and do other things outside of daylight hours. Also, Watts of Love goes in and teaches them financial literacy to help end the cycle of poverty. And that all happens with one solar light. So if you'd like more information about that, I can get you that at any time. Just message me. But I will finish this. I'll spray it. I'll add the greenery. I will add the bow, and then I'll post a pic probably early next week. I will be live again on Monday at 7:45 p.m. Central Time. And I should have a regular schedule next week as well. Actually says really great deal. If you've been wanting some transfers, the Transfer Palooza is definitely the special that you want to take advantage of. Also, I do have a scratch and dent sale going on in my private group. If you aren't a member of that and would like to be, just type group down in the comments and I will get you added and you can shop that scratch and dent sale. And that's just barely used, gently used, somewhat used transfers, all different sizes. Some just have one piece used. So shop that scratch and dent sale for some great deals on transfers. But thanks for watching today. I hope you have a great weekend and I will see you next week. Thanks for watching.